Welcome to the 2021 King Films ACC Men's Basketball Tournament predictions. Let's start at the bottom with the 11 versus 14 seed game of Notre Dame against Wake Forest. Both of these teams are pretty bad, with none really having many good wins, but Notre Dame just knocked off FSU, and I have to think that they're going to continue that momentum into this tournament and knock off a poor Wake Forest team in that first match. Next up, Notre Dame would play North Carolina, and I'm going to give North Carolina the win here. North Carolina also knocked off Florida State just about a week ago, and then they beat Duke. So North Carolina is rolling a bit right now, enough to get it done here. Next up, in that third game down at the bottom, they would play 3-seed Virginia Tech. And I'm going to have North Carolina pull off the upset here for the sole fact that Virginia Tech has been on a COVID pause over a while, and they weren't really playing that good the last time they were active, losing to Georgia Tech by 16 before beating Wake Forest in blowout fashion. Moving up the tournament, we've got number 10 Duke against number 15 Boston College, and I'm going to give Duke the win here for the sole fact that I think they're the better team. Despite Duke being in a sort of struggle right now themselves, Boston College is a lot worse with only 2 conference wins to Duke's 9. Duke at least went 500 in conference, and so I'm going to give Duke the win there. Then Duke playing Louisville. We already saw this matchup about a week ago. Louisville won at Duke, so I think things will not really change despite Louisville not really having Williams. Louisville just lost to Virginia, but I think that Virginia is a superior opponent to Duke, despite Duke beating Virginia a couple weeks back. And I think Louisville will win that matchup there to face Florida State. Florida State's been on the downhill slide recently, but I don't think that Louisville will beat them here. Florida State will have a couple practices to get it back together, and then they'll be in the third round here. So I think they will end up beating Louisville. And then in that Florida State against North Carolina matchup, give me Florida State. I am not sure who's going to win this matchup, to be frank. I could have gone either way with my prediction here, but I'm going with Florida State just because I think they're the better team overall. They were beating North Carolina by a lot in that game they played about a week ago, but North Carolina ended up coming back. But I think Florida State has seen them now, and I think that Florida State is the better team overall, taking them to the final. In the top half of the bracket, Pittsburgh against Miami, I'm going to give Pittsburgh the nod here. Miami's played close to a lot of good ACC competition, but I think that Pittsburgh is the slightly better team here. They just lost to Clemson, but they did beat Wake Forest about a week ago. So I'm going to give Pittsburgh the win here. But then playing Clemson, this matchup just happened and Clemson won by 15. So I'm going to have Clemson winning this matchup, even though the first one was at home for Clemson. This one will be at the neutral site, but I'm still going to have Clemson as I see they are the better team. And then Clemson against Georgia Tech. Even though Clemson is pretty hot right now, winning all of their last few games except for the one against Syracuse, Georgia Tech is a whole lot hotter, winning 6 straight after a short COVID postponement, including wins over Virginia Tech, Syracuse, and Duke. So there's no one that's really any hotter than Georgia Tech right now, and that is why I have them beating Clemson. Moving on to the top, we've got Syracuse against NC State. Syracuse just scored a win against Clemson, but there is no team in the ACC right now that's hotter than NC State. They've beat UVA in their win streak, as well as Pitt, Notre Dame in their last few matches, and they had their game against Virginia Tech canceled. I think they would have won that one as well, but I'm going to give them the win here against Syracuse. And then in the 1-9 matchup, I'm going to give NC State the win against UVA again. I know it's hard to beat a team twice, but they did lose the first one at home against UVA, but then won the one at UVA. UVA's been struggling as of late, whereas NC State is a team that's hot right now. Virginia's lost 3 out of their last 5, including losses to FSU, Duke, and NC State that we mentioned. And then in their last 2 games, they did beat Miami and Louisville, which are decent wins, but I still think that NC State is cooking enough to win this game. And then in 2 hot teams right now, we've got NC State against Georgia Tech. Give me Georgia Tech because I think they're just a bit better of a team overall. And then I'm going to have Georgia Tech upsetting Florida State in the final. This is kind of a conservative pick because I'm not sure if I can trust Florida State to get to the final, And Georgia Tech does have that triple bye as well. At the 4 seed. So give me Georgia Tech to win the tournament as the 4 seed. Again, in the ACC, the 1 seed doesn't always win it, so I think that will happen again this year, and Georgia Tech is your ACC champion. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and comment your predictions below.